Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, we are back with some more league racing action, and this is TSRL Round 9 at Hockenheim, Germany. And if you didn't catch my last race, it was at Silverstone. Got the pole position somehow out the bag after my qualifying was going very, very badly. Drove a pretty much almost flawless race until the weather at the end forced me onto a different strategy where I don't really regret the decision I did, but it resulted in me potentially getting a guaranteed top 2, maybe even a win, because I think my teammate had a 5-second penalty as well. I ended up finishing in 5th place because I lost a lot of time having to do an extra lap. So coming into this one, I was really, really motivated. Like the race before Austria, normally when I have a result that doesn't go my way, I normally have a pretty good second race. And coming to Germany, I really enjoy driving this track, but it's just, I'd say in qualifying, I just struggled to get a seriously good time around here. And this lap here, managed to make it into Q2, doing a good turn 1. This is on the medium tyre, because this is ideally the tyre that you really have to be starting on. If you want to make a one-stop work and make it work effectively, then there's no real choice. You have to go on these tyres. And as I was saying before, I really enjoy this track. I really love driving it, but in qualifying, I just don't seem to be insane on pace. But my race pace, as I always say, pretty much every single time, is really, really good, and I've really, really practiced hard for it. But you can see this lap so far.
Oh my God.
It's not going to plan. This is my 3rd lap on these tyres. I did one push lap, then a cool down lap, and then another lap. My PB going into this on these tyres, which I did record, if you go on my Xbox clips on my profile, you can see I did an 11.2. Now we're quite far away from 11.2 right now, and no, the lap here looks pretty clean. No real major mistakes, but it's just those fractional differences where you're just going up the throttle just a little bit earlier or just brake a little bit later, and adding up throughout the whole lap can give you quite a bit of lap time. Going across the line, it's 11.5 if I can see it right, and I really thought that wasn't enough to get into Q3, but we'll be able to see it was just enough to get into Q3. To be honest, the first 2 sessions like we saw at Silverstone really don't matter too much as long as you get into Q3, ideally on the tyres like the mediums, or if you have to start on mediums, ideally going through on those tyres. It doesn't matter, it's all about this Q3, and we set quite a good banker so far in the first part of the session, but now this is my quickest lap. You can see we're currently in P6, which is not fantastic going around here at all. We've got a decent lead in this championship, but I felt we've lost quite a lot of points in the 3 races, so I really wanted to get back on good terms. This first sector, I was always a little bit slower than the likes of ERL Viper, Jam Pancakes and stuff like that. Always about a 10th down or something like that, but for me it was pretty good. Going into this hairpin now, trying to brake as late as I can, I was definitely much more committed in this part, because I just thought to myself, if I could just force myself to be high up on the grid, I'm just going to make my race so much easier for myself. See, my teammate puts in a 10.3, which is pretty quick. That's actually my PB on the softs going around here. Coming through this corner, short shifting up into 4th gear, try and almost go flat out for this right-hander. Staying on the track, how far are we down? We're 0.0 down. Well, no, about 4 thousandths down on my teammate. So no, this lap is not going too bad at all. Now, locked up a little bit, but still got that rotation going through into there. Going to the penultimate corner. Really enjoy these sequence of corners. Trying to hook myself on the curb. And honestly, coming across the line, I was really, really happy with that lap. That puts me only in P5 though, so showing how competitive this grid is. It's a 10.4.
It was a good lap.
And yeah, no, I think BMG Hawks gets the pole position. I think he does with a 10.3. So we're less than 2 tenths away from pole, but I was actually quite happy with that. And the likes of Jam Pancakes, Zero Viper, they're on a controller. I know this is quite a good track, I feel, for the controller. And you can see here, you're probably wondering why that McLaren and another car is just going straight past. And this is a glitch start. So we had to restart the lobby, making sure you use the tyres you qualified on. And you can see we're restarting it now. That means everyone is going to be on fresh tyres now. So it's taking out a little bit of the strategy where I feel I'm very good at saving my tyres and managing temps. No, it's made it a complete equal playing field now. But coming into here, P5, I didn't think it was a bad result. As long as I qualify in the top 5, I'm pretty happy. So now we've got 4 lights, 5 lights, trying to get a good start. My 2 main championship rivals are starting ahead of me, and we get a very, very good start. Really good start. I think Sonic next to me has actually disconnected, so I can force myself to turn. My teammate goes completely spinning round in the first corner. That's me into P4. I have to defend from JQB because he's gone on the soft tyre. He went through to Q3 with the soft tyres, but we just about managed to maintain position, and it's crucial. Well, it's kind of crucial, I'd say, that to keep him behind, because I thought after 2 or 3 laps we should be quickening him. So we're going to go defensive into this hairpin now, and forcing Jakey to go around the outside of me and put my car in a very, very nice position there. And we managed to make up 1 position through my teammate going to the back of the field now. Very unfortunate for him, but actually gives me less of a headache when it comes to the pit strategy like I had in Silverstone. And all I was thinking about now is the same as usual. Just make sure that I'm in that DRS zone for lap 3 onwards. And you can see, moving on to lap 3, we're quite comfortably in that DRS zone, but we do have JQB quite close behind because those soft tyres are still going to be firing pretty nicely. But right now you can see, got quite a lot of fuel in reserve. We're going to put back down to no ERS pretty quickly here. And you can see there's already quite a bit of action. And for me, everyone could do what they like, as Jam Pancakes gets a very, very bad exit here. So we could see this as a potential opportunity to go past, but we're going to just test to see. I seem to be very, very good on the brakes this race. I think I was using like 89 brake pressure or something like that. But at this stage, that kind of battling is really not needed for me at all in the slightest. And going through into lap 6, you can see the leaders are squiggling my tyres a little bit, but you can see they're almost going 3 wide into there. And I just thought, this is just... it's just pointless. You just do not need to be doing this at this stage of the race. And a lot of people say to me that, oh, they were faster than you and stuff like that, but at this stage I'm not interested in getting close to anyone at all. All I'm interested in is just keeping in the DRS zone, looking after my tyres as much as I possibly can, as we're right behind the Williams going to the stadium here. Again, just testing to see. It always seemed to be quite early on the brakes actually, so I thought this could potentially be an opportunity at the end of a race, as Hawks has gone completely off and he's just completely lost the car there. And very unfortunate for him, but that just shows the pressure when you're fighting at the front in a league race. The pressure is very, very intense. Going into this hairpin again, trying to get a good exit, and I think I'm going to go on the phone to Jeff to see if anyone has a penalty out ahead of me, because these 2 guys are my main rivals for the championship. Let's see what he says. And Jam Pancakes has already got a time penalty, so again, this is just playing into my favour very, very nicely. He decides to pit, we decide to continue for another lap. And yeah, as I was saying before, a lot of people were saying, I remember reading the stream, a lot of people were saying, oh, they had more pace, but at this stage I really wasn't actually pushing that much. You can see by my ERS and my fuel as well, I'm not really wanting to get close to these guys because I don't want to get damaged, don't want to be involved in an incident or be affected by that much dirty air or anything at all. Right now I was just perfectly content in just sitting behind, making sure I don't get any warnings or anything at all. We actually have jumped Aero Viper in the pits as well, so that is pretty fortunate in the pit lane. Jam Pancakes comes out ahead, but we do have JKB who's pitted very early for those medium tyres, which are definitely not going to be going to the end of the race. And this again plays in my favour because he'll be quicker than Pancakes right now. I'm already in his DRS zone, and all I have to do is just stay with him. That's it. It's a pretty nice race for me. Everything's falling into place very, very nicely at this stage so far. And yeah, as I was saying before, I don't really like to get close to people because I don't want to be caught out by their braking or anything at all. I feel when I have to use my pace, I use it and I show it. But if you don't have to show it and you don't have to expend all your energy, then you just really do not need to. Coming through into here now, we're starting to put a little bit of pressure. So that is our first warning of the race. So a reminder that we can't be too complacent. You can see we've got 100% ERS as well. And I say this every single video. People think I save too much, but I don't think there's ever more than enough than you can save. If you can keep up with people and not use any ERS, then I'm going to take that all day. And now we're going to stay on board now for, I think, for the next 3 laps. Because I think Jam Pancakes, he knows that I don't have a penalty. I know that he has got a penalty. And all I have to do is just stay in this DRS zone. If I stay in this DRS zone, it protects me from Viper behind. And I don't need to overtake him. There really is no need for me to overtake at this point. But I can see he is definitely pushing. He's trying to get out of that DRS zone. So we just have to make sure. Now, this is the time where I have to show my pace of what I can do around here. And I just need to make sure that I stay in this DRS zone. Because if I don't, then me and Viper could end up battling quite a bit. And there's no guarantee that Viper can actually catch up to him as well. But right now, for the championship, for championship-wise, if it stays like this, I stay within this distance of Pancakes, then I increase my championship even more. I think KJ Gamer has actually retired from the race, who is the man in P2 in this championship. No, it'll be a very, very good day at the office. It's consistency is key as we get in the DRS zone there. And I think that was a glitch of the game, because this lobby seemed to be very, very glitchy. As you saw from the formation lap glitch, quite a few people have already lagged out this race. And I think there's been a little bit of an issue with the Codemaster server so far. So, you know, I wasn't really thinking too much of it at the time. But, yeah, as I was saying, consistency is just completely key in the championship. You don't need to be winning every race. I've only won one race so far this championship, but I've been on the podium for quite a lot of the others. And that's the reason why I'm in this position. But moving back to this now, see, we've started to close in on Pancakes once again. And you know, I'm pushing pretty hard here, but I felt that I was just in complete control. I wasn't overdriving or anything at all. I just was doing, I always like to do the bare minimum to what I need to do. And you can see Pancakes is even trying to get out of the slipstream that I was getting there. But no, like I do in qualifying for quite a lot in these qualifying sessions for each round, you know, I only need to get through to Q3, and then that's when I need to turn it up. And that's kind of the same philosophy as I applied to the race. If I can avoid putting in that much effort with my fuel and ERS, and generally just pushing and looking after my tyres, and then just use it when I have to at the end to try and win the race or attack, then that's exactly what I do. And that's what I did at Austria and Silverstone, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I don't need to be right up his rear bumper. There really is no need to be doing that at this stage. And no, it's for me, this is pretty much a perfect race in terms of execution right now. The only thing is that Viper doesn't have a penalty, but again, I don't really like to rely on people having penalties. I really like to beat them on track, but that's the only thing, because I can't really afford for him to have a good result here and me get a very bad result, because otherwise that kind of leaves the championship wide open again. And having the feeling on quite a few races now where I feel I should have a lot more points than I do in this championship. Some of it down to me, but others down to safety cars and other things that went on. No, I don't want to make it a lot closer than it really, really needs to be. But you can see now, I think with the ERS usage, since Jam Pancakes doesn't have DRS, he's having to use a lot of ERS. And you can see we're going to about 30%, but we've turned it down now because we're easily going to be here. And you can just see on the brakes, we seem to be very, very strong this race on the brakes, as I said before. So yeah, this is just absolutely perfect. Don't need to overtake him, and he's protecting me from Viper behind. The setup I was running was pretty good in the straight line as well. So all I needed to do is make sure I get a good exit coming off these corners, and yeah, it was looking very, very nice here. And you can see putting it back down to no ERS once again, moving towards the start of lap 24. We're very, very close to him. Let's see how much of a good exit we get coming off here, putting up into overtake, and then we'll just go put back down to high. And you'll probably see even now, you can see how early he's going quite defensive, just defending the inside a little bit, just in case Viper tries to see it as an opportunity. But again, putting up into overtake, checking if anyone's got a penalty behind. You can see how slow Pancakes is, because I think he's trying to really force me, because he knows if he stays in this position, then I'm in the hot seat. Now I can just overtake him on the last lap, or Viper could attack me, and that could give him an opportunity to get away. So I think he's really hoping that me and Viper will start battling. But honestly, I was not interested in that. I was just interested in just staying behind him, try to defend from Viper if I could. Because I know at this stage, the only man I'm really racing is Viper. As long as I don't get another warning, then the only person I need to be ahead of is Viper right now. And if he continues to back us up, the other group will catch us up, and he might even fall further behind the podium. So I really was not minding this at all. Even if Viper really attacked me, I just thought, you know what? No, he could just have it. There's really is no need here. Coming into here, quite close again, just making sure we get a good exit coming off this corner. And Viper is fairly close, but you'll be able to see again, just with the straight line speed that we have. Now he is nowhere near us at all. Turning it down again, he's been defensive like he was on the last lap. We're very quick on the brakes. And what can I say? I wasn't thinking about the win at this stage, but I was just thinking, no, if we just keep like this, then it's going to be very nice for my championship. But we did lose a little bit of time. I think I made a mistake going through into turn 1 because I just didn't want to get a warning. And this has allowed Viper for a potential opportunity to overtake me. So we're going to go semi-defensive like we did with the first lap with JQB. Just putting your car in the right places. And we always get some very nice traction coming off this corner. And you can see the speed we're closing in on Jam Pancakes again under the brakes. We're making up a ton of time under the brakes. And no, that was that threat eliminated on that lap here. So you can see very close to him once again. Putting it down into lean and no ERS. Just harvesting it as much as possible. And we've only got 8 laps or less than 8 laps of this race to go. Now the group behind isn't catching. And ideally I just want this for every single lap. No, I'm driving pretty well, but I'm not having to push that hard. I'm just playing a very smart race, I think, tactically at this point, and keeping it clean as well, not getting any warnings or anything. We're in pretty much the prime position that we need to be in, going quite close under the brakes. This is the only corner where I need to make sure I'm having a good exit from, and no, I had a good exit, but Jam Pancakes has just let me go, and there's a massive gap behind, and I had no idea what was happening at this stage. And you can see the commentator has left the session, Callum has left the session, we'll see if anyone else has left the session, and yes, Hero Viper has left the session. And I think you can guess it's not those guys lagging out, it is me that has lagged out of this race. And
me disconnected, isn't it?
Yeah, tough. It was a tough one, and I honestly didn't know what happened here. I was just praying. No, not because I want them to disconnect, but I was just praying that it was just a few people potentially, but it is me that has lagged out of this race. And no, like Silverstone, it was just pretty much a guaranteed a very good result, and now it just means absolutely nothing. And no, that is the brutality of league racing. I've said it many times before. I think we do get an invite back to the session in a little bit, which we do there from Chandler. A little bit of a delay in that. Could have maybe accepted that a bit earlier. At least the good thing about this game is that you can go back in and take control. And you can see we're back in control now, so a good couple minutes away. But unfortunately, due to the AI setting, I have fallen down to 7th place. And yeah, it's a tough one because I felt I did everything right that I needed to do in this race, and it's one of those things where you can't control that. And you can see by my reaction, I'm not going mental. I don't think I really even said anything. No, at this stage I was still hoping for a good result. I was still pushing everything I could, but I knew there was nothing I could do. And it's just one of those things. It hasn't happened to me for a long time, but I know it happened to other people in this session. And Jam Pancakes goes to win the race, but then it is actually Viper who I believe did take the W in the end. We come across the line. Let's see if we improve. It is P7, and yeah, that kind of reaction. There's nothing you can do. And no, I thought I did well to kind of hold myself together and just try and not rant about it or anything at all. I just tried to refocus, and disappointing because I felt at Silverstone we lost a guaranteed top 2 then. I think we lost a guaranteed potential top 2 again here. Not to say I would have won the race. No, I might have even got a penalty, who knows, but I think a top 3 was very, very likely there. And we've lost quite a lot of points in the last 2 races when I think we've been fairly unlucky, I'd say, in those kind of races. But I am still leading this championship despite that. Just frustrating that when I do bad, my championship rival does well. So fair play to him. GG to them. They drove a really, really nice race. It was just a really big shame we didn't get to do a battle at the end. But we move on to Spa, which is coming tomorrow on our live stream. I've made sure I've prepared very, very well for that race. I hope you join me there. And yeah, thank you so much for the support. And I'll catch you soon. Peace.